closer and closer every day. What experience do you have in international relations and events?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm the vice chairman of the Hyundai National Dealer Association. I have been to Korea on 3 different occasions. Now, as much as people would talk about globalization and what's going on, what really has hurt us is not globalization, but the corporations in America that are no longer American corporations, but global corporations. They don't really care where they make their money, as long as they make their money. So a lot of these jobs have gone overseas, not because it was that their workers are smarter, not because they work harder, not because of any other thing other than it was easier to do it overseas than it is to do it here. Now, having worked with the Korean government, having worked with the Korean people, I do know this, that since 1950, the Koreans have been our staunchest ally. Anytime we've had a skirmish, they have been there, and they've been there side by side with us, because we liberated them in 1949 and 1950. Hyundai has invested in Alabama and in Georgia over $3.5 billion and created over 60,000 jobs, American jobs, in this country. So my experiences with corporations globally has been actually hands-on. I've worked with these folks. I understand what it is that they're about. And yes, you're right, Mrs. Downham, I do know about making a profit. Quite honestly, that's the only way I can pay my people every 2 weeks. So I appreciate that fact. Thank you for recognizing me.
Whoever hit the light switch, could you hit it again? That's okay.
Thank you. You know, we are in a global world. We all know that. The world becomes closer and closer all the time. My father, years ago, he worked for General Electric, and he moved to Brazil, and I fortunately got to go down there a couple times to travel in South America. And at the time, I could hardly talk to them. It was when I was up here in college, and they were down there because the communication was so difficult. Now my daughter's studying over in Madrid, Spain, and I can just get on the computer and Skype with her any day I want to. It's fascinating and exciting place, you know, that we have this world that's so interconnected now. But we have got to make sure that when we are looking at jobs in America, that we're on a level playing field, and we're not. So we have to look at a couple things. We have to look at our trade laws. And we have trade laws that have devastated our region. NAFTA and CAFTA have devastated the Shenango Valley and devastated the 3rd District of Pennsylvania in so many ways. And I think that we need to have fair trade deals, not free trade deals. Fair trade deals. We want to be on a level playing field. We know we can make anything as well, if not better, and usually better than anyone else in the world. So let's make sure we are on a level playing field. And let's make sure that we aren't giving our corporations tax breaks to take our American jobs overseas. We're giving corporations the opportunity to take our jobs and to take their profits and just leave them overseas. And we've got to stop doing that. And so we're working at that. Those are 2 of the first things we need to do. And for the long term, we've got to make sure that we're providing the research and development and innovation, and like I said, make sure our young people are ready for the global market, because we're falling behind. We are falling behind the children in the other countries. We are falling behind. We have to make sure that we are trained and ready for that next innovation going forward. It's exciting to be part of this global community, but we also need to make sure that America is strong to be able to compete and be part of that really bright future.
Okay, well, I think that all of us in this room are Americans. We all want Americans to do well. We do realize our role in global manufacturing, but we also know that the hindrance that we have right now, the reason we aren't competitive is because of a government, again, that over-regulated and overreached. So if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I'm hoping that this November, I'm pledged to you this November, you sent me, I will not be part of the problem. I will be part of the solution. That's the way I run my business.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our forum today. We're just about out of time, with enough time for the closing statements by each of the candidates. Mr. Kelly, you won the joint cause